Hello everyone, welcome to episode 2 of my Scratch tutorials. In this video, we're going to be adding some improved walking and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and look at what we got so far. So he meows and then you can make him walk around and stuff like that. Well, there's one thing. That meow is starting to get a little annoying, and there's no real point in putting it there if we're going to make this a game. So, let's go ahead and remove that. Now, next thing is we are going to be polishing up the movement system, because as of now, if you try walking and then jumping, you can't walk and jump at the same time. So we're going to fix that. So first of all, I'm going to show you something called the forever loop. The forever loop makes things go on forever. For instance, we can make it go forever next costume. Yeah, see? Just like that. So, what we're going to do is we're going to, when green flag clicked, forever. And now, this block right here is called if. So basically, let's say if touching mouse pointer, then place on meow until done. Uh-oh, why isn't that working? Well, it's because it has to be in a forever loop, or else it'll only ask this question once and then never do it again. But if we put it in this forever loop, then if it touches your mouse pointer, it meows. So now what we're going to do is we are going to make it so that if, alright, so look at this. This is the sensing category. It senses what you're doing. So for example, if key space pressed, then we can go ahead and put this jumping code in there and see what happens. There we go. And if you look at this, I still can't jump at the same time. So first we're going to change this to up arrow. And now we're basically going to do the same for all the other movement scripts. So let's start with left arrow. So this can just be left arrow. And we don't have to worry about this pesky thing either anymore, because we can use the or block so that we can do left arrow and right arrow. Now you might be a little confused and having trouble following me, but look, that or block basically makes it execute this command if I'm doing one of these things. Now let's try it. What the? That's weird. Well, it's because I still haven't replaced all the other ones. And another thing, we're going to change this choppy animation to have weight 0.1 after it. That way it's less choppy. Alright, so as you can see, he starts running and then, well, he starts doing the running animation and then he starts. So we're going to fix that too. So we're going to remove the when left arrow key pressed and replace it with this, if left arrow key pressed. And that's that. Next we're going to remove the or, but keep this. So now, duplicate this again, remove this, replace it with this. So now, basically what we're doing is we're replacing all of these when blocks with if blocks, so that the only when block there is when green flag clicked. Now, let's test that out. Wow, this looks amazing, and we can even jump at the same time, too. But what if we want to control with the arrow keys too? Well, we can use our special OR block to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to get another OR block and basically do if key up arrow pressed or key W pressed, then it jumps. Wow, it actually works. That's great. But we need to polish up this jumping animation by actually doing an animation. So switch costume to costume 2 when it starts, and switch costume to costume 1 when it ends. Let's see. Oh great, that looks great. Now, we're going to do the same thing with everything else. Let's get right into it. Alright, now we have it working. But I know I say this a lot, there's just one issue. The walking animation isn't happening when I use WASD. So that's because I gotta add an extra OR. 2 extra ORs. I know it's a lot. So we're gonna do this, all of this. So we're gonna put this into this OR. This OR is gonna be in the middle. And then another OR. I know this looks a little messy and a little complicated at the same time, but let me break it down. If left arrow or right arrow or A or D is pressed, then it does the animation. Oh, we don't need this. Alright, so now let's test it out. Oh great, would you look at that? It actually works. That is awesome. And we already have a really smooth jumping animation. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to add... Wait, what was I going to add? Great, so what we're going to do is we're going to add some platforms he can jump around on, like a platformer. So, first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to backdrop 1 and fill this little square of land in with a blue backdrop to sort of show the sky. So let's do that. You can use the square tool to do it. Alright, cool, that looks great. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to make a new sprite and name it ground. Now, let's get some classic grassy plains all up in here. Oh, wow. Whoa, he's inside the ground. How are we going to fix that? Well, it's just like this. So, we're going to combine both of these move scripts together because he doesn't need to do both at once. And then, another thing we're going to do is we're going to do if touching ground, change Y by 10. Let's test that out. Oh, would you look at that? That looks awesome. Now, he won't just go inside the ground. Now let's try jumping off. Oh no, we gotta add gravity. Well, it's pretty simple. Copy this script and change it up a little bit. Basically doing the opposite. So instead, if not touching ground, then change Y by -10. Let's try that one out. Alright, let's see. Oh wow, it works. But we can't die yet. And wait, why can't I jump? Well, that's pretty simple. The gravity is messing it up. So, we're going to need to do something a little hard. We're going to need to mess with variables. Now, they seem daunting at first, but don't worry. You'll get used to them. So, when green flag clicked, set my variable to false. It does look daunting at first, but you'll get into it. Now, rename variable and rename it to jumping. Or something along the lines of that. And now, right here, it says if not touching ground, we put an AND block. So then an equals block too. I know this looks a little messy and a little hard, but it's okay. Jumping equals false. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to make it so that when you start jumping, it sets jumping to true. And then instead of making it go back down when it ends, we just let the gravity do it for us, which is awesome. So set jumping to false. Now let's try that out. Oh great. Now let's try holding down the jump button. Oh no, we can fly. We gotta fix that. We will use a wait until block, which basically just makes it wait. So wait until touching ground. And we're also going to change costume to costume 1 when that happens. Let's test it out. Oh great, this is working really great. I can't wait to see what we do next. So let's also test out the gravity. Oh, it works. Well, that's awesome. But there's just one issue. You can jump in the air. Well, it's gonna look a little complicated at first, but we got it. So, see, this is the script for jumping. We're gonna add another and block. And then it's and touching ground. I know this went from really simple to really complicated, but hopefully you're following along. Now let's try. Here we go. Awesome, now we can't jump in midair. But look at this. He's sinking into the ground. How do we fix that? Well, what we do is first we have to exit full screen, then hold down left click on him, and bam, now he's in the front layer, which basically makes him be in front of the ground, and now it doesn't look like he's sinking into it. Well, that's great. But there's just, as you guessed it, one issue. If you fall off, you don't die. You just sort of stay down there. You're just chilling. Well, I don't think we want that, so let's add some hazards. So let's add, how about some lava? So let's make a red square at the bottom of the stage. Oh no, it's not there. Well, we'll just have to change it to 0, 0. We'll do the same with this ground sprite. 0, 0. Okay, so now, let's see if it works. Okay, there is lava there, but yeah, you don't die from it. What we're gonna need to make another sprite called spawn point. This will make it so that you spawn here instead of just spawning in set coordinates. So all we gotta do is just draw a circle right here and then move it right here. And now let's go back into the cat sprite and make it, instead of going to XY, you drag out, go to random position and change it to go to spawn point. Let's try it out. Oh no, we're not spawning at the spawn point. Well, don't worry, that can be resolved easily. It's just because this wasn't in the center. There we go, and now we'll move this over here, and now we try. Wow, it works. But, as you probably have guessed by now, there's just one issue. This thing doesn't look very good. It looks a little bit weird, just sitting there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna change the color. What we're gonna do is, if we go into the paint bucket thing, we can basically change the color of objects. So if we use this grab tool to steal the blue color, and then go into the spawn point sprite and put it in over to here. And now, when green flag clicked, go to here and go to back layer. Make sure the cat is in the front layer. And now we're gonna add some more to our movement script. Well, it's not much of a movement thing. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do if touching lava, then go to spawn point. Alright, let's try this out. Wow, it worked. This game is going really well so far. But what if we were to expand the level a little bit? Let's say add a square right over here. Well, now the spawn point is shown. So even though it's the same color as the background, it won't fit in with the whole setting. So we're gonna change this to like be invisible. So what we do is we pull out the hide block, we put it at the top of the script, and now when we start it, it's gone. Now you might not be able to notice it, so let's change the color to say black. And as you can see, it's not there. Well, that's great. We've gotten so far in this tutorial. So, I think that's all the time we have for today. So, stay tuned for my next Scratch tutorial, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.